programming. So as I said, like I would like to go with open my Visual Studio Code and I where I'm saving your Python files and have to be navigating into this location itself. And this is my virtual environment. I would like to be activate that one. Okay. So here, when you're here, we are getting some kind of detecting kernel and choose your kernel, and I'm going to be choosing my virtual environment, right? Okay. Yes, I have activated. So far, I have explained only few things, like what is the Python basic syntax and, comments and statements and keywords and identifiers. And when you're creating some kind of names and we have to follow the rules for identifiers, with help of those rules only we can able to write some of the names or you can define some of the names as per your requirement. Okay. And the keywords are predefined and that we should use whenever we need it. And so you can see that, what are the keywords are there in Python. And we have one library. The name of the library is a keyword. Inside of the keyword library, we have all the keywords are there. I just want to list that, what are the keywords are there in my Python IDE. For that one, we need to use the import keyword to import the libraries into your code. So once if you're guys, please meet your systems, guys. Someone join with uh, Sheikh Umaira and Sanket, Bharati, Pravalika. Someone is join with the name of Pravalika.
Yeah, sir, Pravalika, she would like to listen few more classes, sir. If she
Okay,
understands, she will continue, she said.
okay, cool enough. Okay, fine. See, guys, what I'm trying to tell you, would like to show you what are the keywords are available in Python programming language. Okay. For that, we can use the import keyword to import the keywords or to import the libraries into your program. So I want to list that, right? So we can use the print statement to print all the, whatever you want to display on your screen. Then we can use the print function. Here I would display the keyword list so that inside of the keyword library, we have a KW list is there. So inside of the KW list, we have all the all keywords are available. So with help of this particular statement, you can see that what are the keywords are available in your Python 3.12.7. Okay. I'm not sure how it is running. So let me try. Let me close this one. Again, I would like to be open the folder Python DSA and you can select it. Here first, detecting the kernel. You select It is run. Yes, but done. See, now we can run it. See, if you run this statement, we can see what are the keywords are there. Each and every keyword, it having its own special meaning. False is the keyword. With help of false keyword, we can create the Boolean values. None is the keyword to create the no data variables. And is the keyword, it could help you for to do some kind of logical and operations. And as is a keyword for aliasing some names. Like that, we have so many keywords are there, and these are all keywords. We definitely use it in upcoming sessions. And I'm just showing you what are the keywords are available in Python programming language. Okay. And I want to know that in a count of those things, then we can use the print function. And inside of the print function, we can use the length. So with the help of the length, we can know that, what, how many elements are there in this particular list. So if I run this one, you will get some number, that number indicating that what are the keywords, how many keywords we have it. So there are 35 keywords are existed in Python 3.12.7. Okay. And so out of that, these are the keywords actually. So all keywords are having some special meaning, and we'll definitely discuss each and every keyword in upcoming sessions. Any questions about this statement? I'm using Visual Studio guys, and within that one, I have created the interactive Python notebook, and there we can create some kind of box. That the box we can call it as the code cell, and within the code cell we can write some kind of piece of code and we can run it, and you will get output here itself. And this output and this code both will be saved automatically with a span of time. Clear? Now, and I already explained what is identifiers. Identifiers are the user-defined names. With help of identifiers, we can defining the names for variables, functions, classes, and objects. And these functions, classes, and objects definitely we'll discuss in upcoming sessions. I would like to talk about variables. So in generally, variables are the identifiers, and so with help of the variables, we can hold the data. The data, it could be anything. We can hold integers, we can hold float, or we can hold complex. We can hold any type of data with help of the variables. Okay. But if you want to hold the data as a name, that we can call it as a variable. And if you want to define that particular names, we have to follow the identifier rules. So these are the three rules we can use it. Either we can use alphabets, we can use digits, we can use underscore. And we have three more rules are there. Those rules, don't use it actually. Don't use the keywords. Don't start with the digits. Don't use any special characters other than underscore. Okay. So see, so here I have an example of name is the one variable and which is holding the some characters or string. And this is also one variable and which is holding some numbers. And this is also one variable and which is holding another string actually. So these three variables are followed the identifier rules. Like we are using underscores, and we can use underscore, we can use only alphabets, we can use digits also. But coming to this one, I have tried to start with a name with a number, then you are getting some kind of error. Okay. And I would try to be use the a keyword as the identifier or variable, and there also we received an error. This is syntax error. Okay. So we have to follow the proper rules for that. And I would like to use the some special character while defining the variable. Then that situation also we are getting some kind of error. Clear? So and this is the rules is it is not only for variables, it is for when you're defining the functions as the names, when you're defining the class names, when you're defining the object names, same rules we should follow it. Any questions so far? This is my previous class, guys. If you miss anything, I hope it could help you.
Sir, once can you tell again environment creation and activation?
Okay, see, this is the environment creation is optional thing. Okay, but why I always follow the environment creation, it's best practice. Like when you're working with projects, And at a time, you might need to be work with two parallel projects. And but one project, it might be used some Python version, and it might be second project, it might be used some other version. Okay, so that was the reason. So it's a best practice when you're working with multiple projects with the different Python versions. So we have to create the different virtual machines. For creating the virtual machine is very simple. And wherever the project location you're work, wherever the project, whatever the project you're working, and we need to navigate to that particular location. Okay, and that means you can open Visual Studio Code with that particular project location or work location. And here we have an option to open the terminal. Once if you open the new terminal, you will get this kind of thing actually. Okay. So here, what you do, we can have a command is Python -m followed by the VNVE. This is the command, guys. And with help of this command, we can able to create the any virtual name with your own name. Okay. So this is the command followed by the my virtual name. So you can give your own name. Okay, you can give your virtual name. Okay, this is the name, which is your virtual name. If you run this particular command, if you run it, if you enter it, then automatically this kind of folder, it could be created. Inside of this particular folder, all libraries, scripts, and I mean related to that particular version, it will be available within this location itself. Okay, and even if you install any new libraries or packages, it directly moving into this particular lib folder itself. So these are all packages available inside of this particular virtual machine. Okay. Once if you are able to run this particular command and you're not activated that one, if you want to activate that one, okay. If you're working on a Jupyter notebook, you can select here, we can click on it, and here we can select the that particular virtual name. Okay. So that is the one option when you're working with the Jupyter Notebook. But if you want to run this particular Python files from this particular virtual machine itself, then what we do, we need to activate that particular virtual machine. To activate this particular virtual machine, we can use dot slash and followed by the your virtual name and the script and activate. Okay, if you run this one, it automatically activated your virtual machine. Now, this is the terminal which is working on the under the this virtual machine itself. Okay, if you install anything, if you install anything that will be directly holding into this particular lib folder itself. See, there is no numpy. There is no numpy in my lib folder. So if I run this one, then what happened? We'll see. Pip install numpy. I'm installing this particular package into this particular virtual environment, then automatically this numpy was created in this particular location. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that is the reason we can able to access any packages after installation with using this particular virtual environment. Yeah. So if you are facing any issue in terms of virtual environment, that I can tell you later on sessions, but that is not much important at this, at this moment because very beginning days I explain you. But if you daily practice it, daily activating that virtual machine and and working with that virtual machine, so you will get some kind of rapport with virtual machines actually. If you are facing any issue with those things, and don't worry, I can connect with you separately. I can tell you what things you're facing and I can solve it. Yep. So guys, so far I have explained keywords, identifiers, variables. Now I would talk about the data types. In Python programming language, not only Python programming language, wherever the variables we do have it, these variables will hold some kind of data, right? Okay. So you can specify what type of data. So variables are holding some different type of data, and Python, which was supported different no data type elements. Okay, so variables will hold different kind of data type elements. I want to show that I want to show you, or I want to explain what are the data types are available in Python programming language. So those data types are already defined in Python programming language. So that simply we can call it as the pre-defined data types itself. But in future, we can define your own data types also. But now we'll discuss only predefined data types. In Python, we do have various data types. And the first one is integer. So with help of integer, we can hold any real numbers. Okay. Second one is float. And the third one is complex. These are the data types, guys. Fourth one is bool. Fifth one is no, none type. Sixth one is string data type that we can represent it with str. Seventh one is list that we can, you know, list data type. And eighth, tuple. So tuple, we can see that, tuple. And the ninth, it is a set. For set, we can use the set keyword, set of class. These are all predefined classes, first of all. And dict, right? So dict, we can say that, dict keyword. These are all, small things actually. It's into class. Float is one class. It's a predefined class. And complex, it is also predefined class. The name we can say that is a complex. And bool, it is also one predefined class. None type, it is also one predefined. These are all predefined classes, guys. Okay. So automatically, when we are assigning the data, based upon the data, automatically this is the objects was created. Based upon this particular classes, the corresponding object, it could be created. Okay. So I'm just giving you some kind of names of data types. I would try to explain one by one. Let's start with integer. So if you want to define that integer data, and it could be any positive number or it could be any negative number between minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay. And there is no fractional data, no floating points, no floating decimals. Okay. So for example, I have a data and which is having some value. This is integer. I have variable b and which is holding some data is 0. That is also in integer. I have a c variable and which is holding some kind of negative number. That is also an integer. How do I know whether it is the integer or not? We have a function is type function followed by the variable name, and this type function, it could be returns the data type of any variable. So in Python programming language, if you want to defining the variables, you don't need to define the data type. You don't need to mention the memory location. Automatically, the memory location and the data type will assigned by the corresponding classes. These are the classes we do have it, right? These are the predefined classes. These classes will automatically creating the corresponding objects based on the type of data you are assigned, based on the data what you are assigned. And for holding this particular data, it might require some more memory. Automatically the memory also it could be adjusted. You don't need to specify the memory location. But in other programming languages, if you created a variable, before creating the variable we have to declare. When you're declaring the variable, it by the time of declaration, we have to specify the data type, we have to specify the how much memory I would hold it inside of that particular variable in other programming languages. Okay. But if you want to be hold some more memory in the same location, which is not possible, that specific programming languages. But coming to the Python, you don't need to specify the data type. You don't need to specify the memory location. Automatically, the memory it is adjusted and dynamically and automatically the data type also assigned to that particular variable based on the data what you are assigned. Any question? I want to know that what is the type of this A and what is the type of this particular B variable. I want to know that what is the data type of C variable. Okay. And these are all integer classes. These are all integer classes. See, I have already mentioned you, right? These are all predefined classes. So automatically based upon this particular data, this is the class it will invoke and was created object The name of the object is here A, and the object is integer object. A is a variable, and that too it is an integer object. B is a variable, and this is integer object. Here the C is also variable, but it is integer object. I need clarification. Did you get this particular point or not? You guys need to be respond, guys. At least one.
Yes, sir. I understood.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Introduction is a very much important, guys. Okay. And Umaira, what about you?
Yeah, sir.
Following or not?
Yes, sir. Following.
Okay. What about Pravalika? Bharati? Pranay?
Sir, I will follow.
And Munni?
Yeah, understood.
I need response, This will give some kind of, energy for me whether you're able to understand or not. Okay. And while I'm explaining, you can mute your systems. Once I done, if I ask some kind of thing like a clarification kind of thing, you need to respond instantly. Okay. Now, I would like to talk about the next data type. I would like to talk about the next data type, and it is floating data. So fractional data. If you want to be hold some kind of fractional kind of data also, then we can do when you are holding some kind of fractional data, automatically the Python will be assigned the data type to this particular variable is float data type. Okay. And the memory also it could be updated. See, this is the float. Why it is float? Because we are holding the some kind of fractional data. Whenever you're holding the fractional data, automatically the memory and the data type as assigned. Data type is the float, and it could be assigned the data type memory location, how much it will be required to hold that entire data. Okay. Now, I would like to be explain some new data type, and who are already aware of some kind of mathematical background, like complex kind of data. What is mean that complex data? What is mean that complex data? Complex data means it is kind of imaginary, combination of real and imaginary.
Fiction.
Combination of real plus imaginary data that we can call it as what?
Complex data.
Complex data.
Yeah. In mathematically, the complex data we can represent it with x plus yi. Here, x indicating that x is real number. That means it is integer or it might be float also. Here, y is also number only. It might be integer, it might be float, but it is imaginary. So imaginary means the number which is it's just imaginary kind of thing. So I'm just tell you one thing. I would do the square root of 4. You tell me what is the value of this one?
2.
It's a 2, right? Okay. If I do the square root of square root of minus 4, tell me. I given
Plus
some
Also 2.
number. Huh?
2.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it square root of minus 4? Is it 2 or what it is? Or minus 2? What it is? 2 or minus 2 or something else?
It will be like 1.4
Why 1.4?
because it's having like it is x is greater than or like greater than minus 0, right? So it is an error, I think.
No, it
Logical
won't
error.
get. No, it is not an error.
It's the imaginary.
That is correct. Okay. See, I want to tell you one thing. Actually, it's a mathematical concept. Okay, so in that we might be get in your intermediate stage. Okay, before before intermediate also we can't see that kind of numbers in mathematics. Okay, see, okay. So for example, you have so far the numbers we have only real and imaginary. Sorry, we have only numbers are integer and float only, right? Okay. And if you do that the square root of integers, or if you do that the square root of float, we are not getting any kind of problem if it is a positive numbers. Okay. Whenever it is a negative, for example, square root of 1, it is a 1. Okay. And the square root of 2, it might be 1.4 something, something like that. Okay. 1.414, something like that. Okay. But if you go with like, square root of 0, of course, it's a 0 itself. When you go for some kind of negative number, square root of -1, okay, it is I indicating that square root of -1. So I square indicating that it's a -1. I square equal to -1. So -1, we can say I square also. And square root of -1, we can say it's I. Okay. So if something you have square root of negative numbers or negative of -1, then we can't say that it's a square root of -1, square root of -1, right? Okay. We have to give you some kind of number for that one. So that number we can call it as the imaginary, that is I. Okay. Is it clear? For example, if I go for -4, so which is square root of -1 and square root of 4, right? And the square root of -1, it is I, and the square root of 2, it's a 2. So 2I is your square root of -4. Is it clear? So this kind of representation, then 2 is some kind of imaginary number. You're just imagining this one, it's an imaginary number. Okay. So your prefix as I, so that is the imaginary number. We have to represent it with imaginary. I hope I'm clear this one. This kind of data types also Python is supporting. Oh, sorry guys, I think I must share whole screen or only my Visual Studio Code. Whatever I'm explaining my whiteboard, have you able to see or not?
Yeah, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. I hope you understood, right? What is the image number? Image number is just simple. It's a I. That I is indicating that it's a square root of -1, that we can call it as the I. Okay. Is it? Now, this kind of data types Python will be supporting. Okay, so that we can call it as the complex. Okay, even complex numbers also, very much complex numbers also, it could be supported. But thing is that which is not represented with I, which is represented with Z, just J in Python. Okay, let me go with one number and 4 plus and 5 I. Okay, or 5J. So here J indicating that it's imaginary, so that 5 is the imaginary and 4 is the real number. Okay, so this kind of data we can say that it's a complex numbers. This kind of complex numbers also Python will be supporting. Clear? Clear? No, you're not. You're never been active.
Yes, yes.
Want boost or Olix or Goldmeter? What do you want? Can I send you anyone? Can I order? Okay. See, now I would like to talk about the fourth data type, which is bool data type. So bool means it's a kind of boolean kind of data, like true or false. In Python, we have two keywords. So make sure that it's a capital T. Python is a case sensitive. Capital letters are different. Small letters are different. If you given a small T and I'm getting an error, If you get that kind of thing, which means that you're not following the proper Python syntax. So here the true and false are the Boolean numbers that which are already defined in Python keywords. Okay, let me go with I have a variable a, and you can give any name actually. Always I'm using a here, but you can do your own name. Okay, I don't care about it. Like I would like to be go with holding that be equal to true, and I would like to be holded with false. So here I have two variables are holding the keyword true and the keyword false. So this time I want to know that what is the data type of this one, and type of a, definitely it will be returns the bool. And I would like to try to be go with find the data type of b. This is how we can represent it, or that is how we can defining the Boolean kind of data. Okay. See, in Python programming language, you don't need to declare the variables before using variables. Okay, directly we can use it. But some situations, this is the I want to defining some names. I want to define some names, but I don't. It might be I want to reserve some names in my program. I want to reserve some names in my program. Okay, for some kind of task. I don't want to be use those variables for anything. Okay, I want to reserve for something actually. Okay, for that one, but I would create some kind of variables. But when you're creating the variables, make sure that we need to assign the data. See, my question is that here in my program, I want to be use some variables or variables names, or else I want to reserve some variables names in my program. But as a rule of variable creation, we don't have any option to create the variables before using. Okay, then how do I do actually? So for that one, you can defining the variables with no data. With no data. Okay, how do I do actually? Simply we can have a keyword. The name of the keyword is none keyword. When you are assigning the none keyword to the variables, that means you are reserving this particular variable. I'm not holding any data. I may use this variable for some kind of functionality or to hold some data. Okay. For that scenario, we can use the variable. So basically here the variable, there is no data. So I have the variable a and I'm holding none keyword. This scenario, so the data type of a, which is none type. But you can try to print, no, which is not printing anything, right? See, if I return a, it's not returning anything. See, for example, I have the a is 56, or if I enter the a, so we are getting 565, right? But coming to here, you're defining the a variable and some none keyword. And so the data type, if you want to print it, you can print it. And instead of printing the value of a, I just return it actually. While you're printing it is definitely it will be printed the none only. Okay. If you try to print the a, definitely it will be printed the none only. But I want to return it, not printing. While you're returning, it could be nothing. Simply I can comment this one. If I return a, it is not returning anything actually. Clear? So here the a is a variable which is not holding anything, so that it is not returning anything. But if something is not returning anything, automatically the Python will assign some data. The name of the which automatically which assigning some keyword. The name of the keyword is none. Okay, it could help you guys in future as well. Don't worry about this none if you're facing any issue. Just try to understand. In some scenarios, I want to return nothing, then which means that no data. If you want to define that kind of no data things, or if you want to return no data things, then we can use the keyword is none keyword. Clear? Okay. Now let's go with some more data types. This particular session, I'm just representing the different data types, guys, in terms of sequential data. These are the fundamental data types like integer, float, complex, and bool and none type. These are the basic fundamental data types. And now I would talk about the sequential data type. Sequential data type means the data type or the variable, it can hold the multiple elements or sequential elements. For example, I want to be collect some kind of sequence of characters. Okay. So I would uh, hold the some kind of sequence of characters that we can call it as the string data type. Collection of characters that we can call it as the string. So the string we can represent it with in Python, either single quotes. Within the single quotes, we can hold group of characters or collection of characters, or else a double quote also we can use it. Within the double quote also, we can hold some kind of group of characters. For example, I have a variable A and I want to be hold some kind of group of characters, Python. And I have a B variable, and here also I want to be hold Python itself. Okay, so this is the two different approaches, and we have one more approach. We can repeat single quotes 3 times. That is also possible. Even we can repeat double quote 3 times. So this is also possible. These are the 4 different ways we can represent the string data type. If you want to defining the string data type, you can use any one of the approach, either single quotes or else double quotes or else triple quotes or else double quoted triple quote. Okay. These are the 4 different ways we can do it. It's a sequence of characters. Sequence of characters is one of the sequential data type, that is the string data type. So str is the predefined class, and inside of str we have a lot of methods are there. Those methods will definitely understand in upcoming sessions. Okay, but now we need to understand only the representation part: single quotes, double quote, triple quote. And str is the predefined class, and we have some kind of characteristics, and we have some kind of rule. We have to follow some kind of rules and all while you're defining those things, and we have some kind of characteristics. Those also we'll discuss in upcoming sessions. Okay, we have 4 more data types are there. Those also I need to be represented, right? That is the reason I'm going bit of, I'm skipping now string data type, but we'll continue the string data type in later sessions again. Okay. Now, I would talk about one more data type, that is a list. So, in the list, which is collection of different data elements, collection of data elements. So, inside in square brackets, make sure that list will be represented with square brackets. Inside of the square brackets, if you are collecting some kind of data elements, that we can call it as the list data. Okay, I have the variable A, and inside of A, I'm holding the empty list. That means this A is the list, but there is no elements. And I'm going to be defining that I want to hold only similar data type elements. Of course, it's not a problem. We can hold anything, right? And I want to hold some kind of dissimilar data elements, integers. I want to hold the float. I want to hold the complex numbers. In C programming language, we do have arrays concepts. There we can hold homogeneous data. That means if you're defining the string data, we can hold only sequence of characters only. Or else if you're defining the integer array, we can hold only integers. If you're defining the float array, we can hold only float data. But in Python, not like that. Okay, you can defining the list. It is same like array, but it can be hold dissimilar data type elements. It can hold integers, it can hold float, or it can be hold complex, or it can hold a boolean. It can hold no data elements, or it can hold string data, or it can hold a list inside of the list also. Okay, we can hold a list inside of the list also. These are the these are the different things, but the way of representation just square brackets. If I use square bracket, that means it's a list. If you're assigning the square brackets to any one of the variable, that is a list data element or list data type. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Same thing, we do have a tuple. Coming to the tuple, we can say tuple or tuple. Okay, it is also a collection of data elements, but not in the square brackets. Inside of the parenthesis. Okay, and so inside of the parenthesis. So that is the tuple actually. So inside of the parenthesis, we can hold similar data type elements or dissimilar data type elements. Okay. One thing we need to remember, Inside of the tuple, we can hold the tuple and we can hold the list also. Inside of the list also, we can hold the tuple also. There is no limitation at all. Those limitations, characteristics, definitely we'll talk in upcoming sessions. Okay. And these are the, this is the tuple. When you're holding any data inside of the parenthesis, automatically the Python, it is treating as the tuple data type, tuple data type. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Now let's talk about set. Set means collection of elements in square brackets. Okay. If you're assigning the empty square brackets, what happen we'll see. Actually, it's a not set. But if you want to collect some kind of data elements with the comma separation, then it could be the set. And if you try to hold the dissimilar data elements in square brackets, we'll see what happen. Okay. The first one is it will be showing you like, here it is getting some kind of error. Why? List. So in set, if you try to be hold the list, you may face an error, and why we are getting error and all we'll discuss in later on sessions. Okay, that is the reason I'm just remove this one, and I would like to be go for update without list. Okay, in my set, I'm in the set also we can hold dissimilar data elements, but if you try to hold the list as the element of the set, that we are facing an error. Okay. And now what I'm doing actually, I would like to be set as the set element. I would try to be hold the set as the set element. That is also will error. Okay. Set. We can't hold the set inside of the set. That characteristics and all I can tell you. But one thing we can try to understand, when you're assigning the empty square brackets, it is not the set actually. It is showing me like a dictionary. Okay. But sir, then how do I create empty set? For creating the empty set, we have different approach because the way of representation of the set and dictionary are the same. So that we are getting the dictionary when you're assigning the empty square brackets. For defining the empty set, we can use the set function. When you're using the set function, then we can able to create the empty set actually. Okay. Clear? Now, last but not least, dictionary data type. See guys, don't worry, we are getting some errors. And why we are getting errors? There is some kind of rule, procedure. I mean, there is some kind of limitations while you're defining some data types. Those limitations we'll discuss in later on session, one after one. I can spend some more time on string data type, and I can spend time for list data type. I can spend time for tuple data type and set data type, dictionary data type. I can explain you some more advanced kind of things, or I can deep diving into each and every data type. Don't worry, this time we have to spend for understanding each and every data type representation. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Last but not least, I'm going to be explaining about dictionary. Dictionary is not similar to the previous things. It is quite different. So previously it was collecting data elements, but it is collection of records, collection of some records or else items. Okay. So here item is, it's a combination of the key and value, key pair value. The key and values are separated with a colon symbol. The combination of the key and value, that we can call it as the items. So this kind of items we are collecting inside of the square brackets. So that is the dictionary. So with the help of this particular key pair values, we can create some kind of records, and it can be employee records or student records or project records, any kind of records, JSON kind of data you can define with the help of dict keyword. Okay, or dict class. Now I would try to be hold empty square brackets. That means or empty dictionary, empty curly braces. This is empty dictionary actually, and I want to be hold some kind of key and value. For example, 56 is my key, and corresponding value is, for example, mm, I would like to give you some kind of numbers, anything. You can give numbers 90 and so some value. Okay. And here 90 is the key and 45 is the value. And 100 is the key and the corresponding value is of 45. This is how we can collecting some kind of items inside of the square brackets. Okay. If you want to create a student record like student ID, student name, that you can do. An employee record, employee ID and employee name, that we can do. Or else if you want to create some kind of complex kind of records, that also we can do with the help of dictionaries. Dictionaries are pretty important data type in data science or any when you're working with the data field. Definitely dictionary is mandated to all of you. Okay. So I hope I explained data types in Python programming language. What are the different data types in Python programming language? How do you define those data types and how do you know, access the data type of each and every data variable? But I want to return the memory location also. I want to know that what is the memory location. For locationing, for location of any memory location, for location of any variables, then we can have function is id function. With help of the id function, you will able to return the memory location. This is the address. Within this address only, this is the dictionary has been created. Within this particular address only, we can hold some kind of data. Okay, the data, it could be anything. And for example, if we change the data, previously it's a dictionary, so that this is a memory location. I just want to change my data type, and I just change my data. Then that situation, whether my memory location has updated or constant, we'll see now. Absolutely, the memory location has been updated also. If you are assigning the data, automatically memory location is also updated. When you're changing a piece of information, memory location is also be changed. Clear? So that's for today's session, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this particular class. If you really like it, like what you do, you can share your email ID to my WhatsApp number, so that I would like to give you LMS, Learning Management System access. From over there, we can able to access the recordings and all. Okay. Let me go with recordings where the recordings are existed. Okay. Okay. So Canvas. I hope as of now you can. Okay, this in this particular course, I'm going to be uploading the recordings. Yesterday class recording also uploaded here, and today's class recording I can upload after this one. So let me edit this one. It's a class one, right? So title is on dot. Okay. Okay. So today's class also I can upload in this particular location. You just click on this link and you will able to get the recording here itself, and you can watch that particular recording. Clear? And if you need these recordings and you have to share your email ID, so that's how, what you can do. I would give you access to this particular class recordings. Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please share your email ID to my WhatsApp number, and my WhatsApp number is 7696967632. You want one more time? 7696. It is India number, guys. +91 we need to add. +91 7696 967632. Yep. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time. And I would try to be upload this recording and you can access this particular class whenever you want to be practice. Yep. Thank you. Bye. Take care. And if you have any questions, I would answer your questions actually. Feel free to ask the questions. If you don't have any questions, then you can say no questions also. That is also good thing. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time. Let's continue tomorrow's session for new thing from the Python module as well as machine learning also. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.